Calling the Finance Committee meeting to order. We've got in attendance Michael Bennett, Todd Dargy, Cheryl DeVilla-Burke, myself, Tom Connolly, and our esteemed team, Linda and Sandra. So first, referring to the minutes of May 23rd, 2022, could I get a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, roll call vote. Michael?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Cheryl?
Yes.
And myself as a yes, those are approved. Now I'm gonna turn it over to you, Mrs. Cole, to walk us through one at a time. So we have a series of reserve fund transfers and those sorts of things that we have to make a series of votes on. We have partial paper. The rest will get described orally to us, and we'll take a vote on that basis.
Okay, the first one we have up is a transfer in the amount of $9,770 even from the custodial employees account, where they had 2 employees that left, so they have the balance left in that account. And it's going to the town buildings PM expense account, which they are short on because of unexpected repairs that had to happen. So it's $9,770 from custodial employees to town building PM expense. These are the ones I believe that I sent an email to you on about the $7,000 for the light post.
Yeah. But that wasn't unanticipated, right? I mean,
So my understanding from Scott, what he said was that the biggest chunk, the $7,000 for that light
For the
that's
pole?
over there,
yeah,
it was up with the Board of Selectmen. The Board of Selectmen kept going back and forth about paying ARPA for it, but this
Now he's gonna
this
pay
guy
for it.
did the work in like October and he
Okay.
wants to be paid, so now
Wants to be
Scott's
paid.
trying
I
to just
remember when he did
pay it
that.
out of expense so he can be done with it, because the gentleman's,
Okay.
I think, probably getting frustrated
Yeah.
that he's not paid.
Don't blame me.
Waited long enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, and roll call vote. Michael?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Cheryl?
Yes.
And myself as a yes. Motion carries. If we,
Send them along.
would we get, is there a possibility we get ARPA money for it? So, I mean, can we do a trade here post? Put the money back if we get the ARPA money.
Well,
Before June 30th.
they were supposed to be using money that they already had to pay for it. We wouldn't get it.
It's not new ARPA money.
For it, No.
Okay,
If they have not voted to spend it, I doubt very much that they'll vote. they
I
will
see,
vote to
I see.
spend it at this
So
point.
so
So
the prior board was supposed to approve it,
they put it off and put it
right,
off,
and now it's
so-
not, now it's basically not on the docket, but
Right.
we gotta get it paid.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the second one is in the amount of $476.16 from the police wages account, and it's going to the police chief wages account. There's extra in the police wages account because many of the classes were held online due to COVID, so they're spending less on the training, and some of them were also suspended because during fiscal year '22, some of the trainings, so that's why there's money left in that original account. And they're putting it to the police chief's wages account to cover the Juneteenth federal holiday that we are now paying out.
Okay.
Good enough.
That's all
Oh, it's
I
just
have.
for chief's account, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's just the one that needed it because it's contract.
Okay,
The other one we could finagle.
so the amount is $476. Can I get a motion to approve?
So
So-
moved.
Second?
Okay, Michael,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
and myself is yes.
Okay, the third one is a line item transfer in the amount of $1,000 even. It's going from the Halifax Animal Control expense account to the Halifax Animal Control wages account. It says the expense account, all the funds were not being used for the purchase of supplies for the remainder of '22, so that's why they have $1,000 left over. And going to the animal control, because there was an extreme number of animal calls and complaints that has had to go over the allotted weekly hours for her. And the chief, I don't know if we can give you more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she's a 18-hour
Yeah.
week employee. I know last time we tried to increase her hours. We were able to, we didn't increase the hours, but we were able to get her a step increase when they did the job description. So she's working the schedule pretty much 3 days, 5 hours a week, and then she has a couple, like 3 hours in the bank for unforeseen emergencies. So what happens is that, and it's, I think to be honest with you, I think that job could be 20 plus, 30 plus, because she gets calls all the time.
Yeah.
And I've had conversation with her about, you know, you have to, sometimes you have to say no. But it's difficult, like the most recent case, there was a cat that was badly injured.
Mhm.
And like she actually posted, we couldn't find the owner, she posted it on Facebook. She actually took like a side picture because the side of the cat's face and neck area was pretty much torn
Mold.
up, bald. So the cat wasn't, it didn't appear in pain or whatever. So she kept the cat, she brought it to Hanson, they were good enough to do some treatment, the cat's made it healthy.
Yeah.
But that took, you know, we had the cat at our station, and it took her, she'd have to come in, take care of the cat, feed the cat, so, and then we had a big, we had like 8 chickens that would drop off at the solar field.
Okay,
And-
are you kidding us right now?
Yeah,
Halifax.
it's Halifax. So, so she recovered all the chickens, then she had to wait for the state to come in and do a blood typing because of the avian flu,
Yeah.
because we're gonna donate the chickens to the lady across the street. So we did that, and then the chickens started producing eggs, so we got our own eggs. It just,
To make the cake,
yeah.
on and
So
on.
it just going on. But,
Only in Halifax.
yeah,
Okay.
but seriously, I mean, you know, the 18 hours is difficult when the residents, you know, expect, you know, service. And it's like anything, you know. So that's the reason why. And
Yeah.
so we have the extra money because she didn't need as many supplies as she's had in the past, so we have that.
Short on chicken feed, long on cat food.
Yes.
Could I get a motion?
Pay for themselves.
Yeah. Could I get a motion to transfer $1,000 from animal control expenses, to animal control wages?
So moved.
Second,
All right, now roll call vote, Michael,
yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
and myself is a yes.
Okay, up next, $205 even from the selectmen expense account where there are funds left over in expenses, they didn't have quite as many this year, to the town reports account, because the amount to print and take care of the town reports exceeded what they had appropriated. So it's $205 even.
Okay, motion approved,
So moved,
Second?
Michael,
yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
and myself is a yes.
Next line item transfer is $5,800 even from the town administrator's salary, which there's funds left over because our former town administrator left and we only have a part-time interim now. Going to the insurance account, because expenses exceeded the amount appropriated, and you can double check with Sandy, but I believe that's like property insurance, liability
We had a
insurance.
couple of, actually liability cases that were settled, we have $5,000 deductible on them,
So this is deductible spend,
so this is deductible spend.
okay.
Yeah.
Are the cases
I think that-
settled?
We didn't, this account, truthfully, I took money from this account for the law account, a few weeks back, because I looked at past history, we never spent a lot of money at the end of the year, then we got a bill in for $10,000.
Right.
It was like, whoops. So that was one of the reasons why I was short, otherwise we wouldn't have been short.
Have the 2 claims been, is it 2 claims or 1?
2 claims, $5,000
They're both
each.
5 each and they're both resolved?
As far as I know, they've been settled, and
Okay.
that's why we had to pay the
Okay.
deductible.
After the vote, I have a question about the law account. Motion approved.
So moved,
Second?
Second?
Thanks, guys. Michael,
yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
and myself is a yes. How are we doing on law account?
And you got one
You
coming
can
up
get
on
to
that.
that.
Okay.
And that will not bring us to the end of the year.
It will?
It will not.
It will
We still
not
have
bring us to the end of the
June
year.
bill to come through. I didn't want to try to estimate the June bill, so I felt that we should just wait.
Yeah,
When the June bill comes through, we'll do the remainder. We are over double what we budgeted,
yeah,
going on triple,
right.
what we budgeted.
How do the cases look?
Pardon me?
How do the cases look? We can't
I
tell.
have no idea. I don't get to go in those meetings.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's a good
Because
point.
it's stuff I don't wanna know.
Okay, so that one carries. Next one?
Okay, so the next one is for $740.35 from the library clerical wages, because there's a position that's still open, to the library expense for electricity, to cover the last electrical bill. And I'm sure Jean can answer any questions you have.
We lowball?
No, so I don't know what happened with the electricity this year. I've always, budgeted, $12,000.
Yeah.
There's usually plenty of money left over, and, things were just kind of going along, and I think it must have been March or April when I realized that I was running like really low on electricity. So I called in, Scott and Sandy were very helpful, and Scott went over and called the electric company, and they fixed something, which I don't really know what they fixed, but then I pay 12 bills a year, so my 11th bill was much better, and I'm so late on this because I just got my 12th bill. And so that's the amount that's left
Okay.
in order to pay.
Oh, so now you'll start your new budget? So this is to
I'll
cover
start-
that 12th budget?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, my budget's already in, right, for FY '23, but according to like my last few bills that I got, that 12,000's gonna cover it for next year.
Okay. If we
But
get
I
a really
will be
hot
more-
summer,
Yeah, I
then we're
will
gonna be
be
all right.
more aware of it.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, motion to approve $740
So
transfer.
moved.
Second.
Michael?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Cheryl?
Yes.
And myself is yes. Good stuff.
The next one is in the amount of $1,741.90. It's from the water supply account, where they didn't need to spend as much on their everyday supplies as anticipated, to the water retirement account. This is to cover the projected deficit in that account because the assessment was higher than they originally anticipated. So I think Sandy can confirm they typically run into this every year where they're moving a little bit more.
We've
I don't know
tried
the
to
information.
keep up with, the retirement account goes up, it went up a couple of hundred, 100,000 this year, 100,000 last year. We're trying to keep water sort of up in the same area,
Yeah,
but we miscalculated this year, they're just under. So next year, we are prepaying the 75,000 and budgeted about the same for the
Okay.
retirement, so we should be fine for next
is
year.
it the same plan administrator for both?
Yeah, it's through us, we just figure
Okay.
out how much they owe of our larger bill.
Yeah, they're basically
Linda does that.
0.06% of the assessment, but I have to go through their wages and kind
Yeah.
of do a whole formula to
Yeah.
get what they are.
Okay, motion to approve transfer of the water retirement fund for $1741.90.
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Todd.
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Cheryl?
Yes.
And myself is a yes.
The next one is for $30,000 even from the Plymouth County Retirement account. That's actually the water department reimbursing the Plymouth County Retirement Assessment share, because we've now billed them for it. So that's $30,000 going to the law account because the expenses have exceeded the amount that was appropriated.
So wait, we're taking it from water retirement?
So the
No.
retirement account, the water paid we billed them for the bill, like the bill you just did ahead of this.
Yeah.
They have now paid back to the retirement account, so now the retirement account has that $30,000 sitting there. Sandy's taking that from the retirement account to pay for the law account.
So it's overfunded.
Well, we do it every year, we fund it in the beginning of the year for the full bill,
Yeah,
the full amount for the whole town. And part of that, we fund with water money, which was this year, I think.
this
it's
water revenue,
55,000.
sorry, this water revenue?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay,
So we used like 55,000 at the beginning of the year towards the whole
Okay.
bill. But their bill was actually 82,000 or about
Okay.
82,000, so they still owed us 32,000. They always budget some for that little bit extra. So when they paid us the 32,000 more than what we had already taken, that went back into the retirement account, and that we're using to pay water.
got it. Okay, I didn't get that that was coming from water revenue. I thought we were just taking it out of one pocket, put it in the other, sort of.
No.
We're not. Okay,
Yeah.
We're good, okay. So
Because water is an enterprise account,
Yeah.
so they pay their own, like they pay their own health
Right.
insurance and retirement and
Right.
Medicare and that type of thing.
Okay, So a motion to approve transfer for the water department.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Michael,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
and myself is a yes.
The next one is in the amount of $2,100 even. It's going from the town administrator's salary, as we've already discussed with the interim there now, to the data processing for unforeseen overtime and expenses.
Motion to approve,
So moved.
second.
Second.
Okay, Michael,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
and myself is a yes.
The last one in this lovely list is the reserve fund transfer. The reserve fund transfer is for the amount of $2,000 even, and it's for the fire chief recruitment account. That's for the resume review and the design and administration of the structured interviews for the fire chief. Unforeseen and extraordinary, because we didn't know our fire chief would be leaving us.
I'm sorry, how much was it for again?
$2,000 even.
Who's gonna do the structured interviewing?
It's,
Who's it, so it's a vendor
yes,
payment
it's a vendor.
to,
He's up from on the North Shore, his name is John, do you remember that?
John something.
John.
John. Yeah,
Very helpful.
I
Is he
didn't catch his
Italian?
name. Actually, you know what? I might have his
It's,
email. I might have his email.
Paro.
Oh.
I could just heard see the
Well, yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned that. Anyways, he was at the recommendation of our fire chief.
Mhm.
He's on the North Shore, he runs these kind of, he'll do assessments or he'll just, look at all the resumes and bring them down to a certain number, give them to a committee, we have a committee who'll be looking them over, hiring committee. And, then they'll be bringing candidates in front of.
So is he a fire professional or he's
He's
an
a
assessment
fire
professional?
chief. I
Yes,
He's
he's
a
retired
fire
fire chief.
professional, okay.
It's
He
very
offers
much
his service
Okay,
down
good.
to different towns.
Okay.
There's other towns that used to be.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, motion to approve,
So moved.
second? Thanks. Michael,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
and myself is a yes.
Okay, that's it for the line items of the.
Don't go
reserve-
anywhere because you have to sign all these.
Yeah, right, no, we get that part, yes. I'll sign last so that we don't cross-contaminate. Is there any other business?
Yeah, so, you all saw, I think, the resignation from, Michael Bryan.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
That's-
so if you want, we can, I also sent along the discussion about the paperwork for Brian Kling,
Mhm.
who, is somebody that had, he put it in 2021. I don't know that he's still interested, but that's the most recent one we have. If you'd like, I can reach out to Mr. Kling and see if he'd still be interested in joining our board, because we have two seats open.
Why not?
Committee.
I think, doesn't think we need, you know, it's such a
Yeah, it's not
stretch to
hurt,
get
yeah.
quorum,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
We can get to.
Definitely, good idea.
So,
Okay,
yeah,
so
if you could, that'd be great. Do we have any other town forms in
we
play?
do not have any other talent forms, right now, so.
Do we have any friends and neighbors we can arm twist?
Might get some at today's meeting.
What's that?
You might get some at tonight's meeting. People realize this opening's gonna get them.
Yeah,
Right,
maybe,
right. I
maybe.
think we have 2 openings now, so.
Yeah, because we have 2 open seats. So if we get Brian for one maybe, and then if we can get candidates for the other one, that'd be super.
That would be great. We do have just under correspondence, we have the letter from the, Water Commissioner, Richard Clark, Chairman for the Water Commissioners, asking about having an employee move more than the step that they normally would in 1 year. So he's asking if he could have a meeting with your committee. I don't know if you want, what you want to do, if you want to do that as a general wage and personnel discussion, if you want to have a separate meeting with him.
We're gonna put them on the agenda for the next meeting?
Okay,
And then maybe we'll get some progress on getting a wage and personnel, getting a joint meeting together so we can do that in the meantime.
yes, I did speak to Ashley today,
Yeah.
and so when she was having to cancel their board for tonight, she did say if you were meeting on the 11th of July, I don't know if you are or not, I told her we didn't know that yet, but it's a Monday night. She said if you were meeting, she'd be interested in having their board meet with you possibly, but their board would like to do everything in person. They don't want a remote meeting.
They don't want a remote meeting.
They do not. Not for wage and personnel, she said she'd prefer to keep it in person for wage and personnel.
I think in that regard, then we'd have to have it later. Because John can't make,
Right, John had expressed,
so John had asked.
yeah, when he said it couldn't be at this one, he said if it's gonna go to in-person, can it be later? Closer to
Is,
7, I think he said.
If we had one meeting in July and we did it on the 11th, so that we could get wage and personnel, does that meet with you guys?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Or are you okay with that?
I'll be around.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll reach back out to the Board of Selectmen too, and, see if they can do that, such as she thought they would, a couple of them.
At 6:30 or something?
The 11th, right? Yeah, could we do, and we do 6:30?
Okay, I will put that out to them. And I'll get you guys posted for that.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
And then we'll try and take the rest of July off, so no, everybody's been,
Up to
You
you.
know,
I
what
won't
do
be
you guys
around the
think?
first week in August. I will not be here.
okay. But we can probably get a quorum for August. Sandy, I had to get Sandy's permission first, why am I asking that? If we met on the 11th, could we plan on then meeting, August, or what did we do last year? When do things start heating up?
I think it's safe to do one meeting in July and one meeting in August.
Okay,
But where you want to talk about the wage and personnel items, I would try to start September, at least doing
For
2
sure.
meetings
for sure,
a month,
okay,
because it just comes up so
it
fast.
does.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay, so one in July. Cheryl, you're away first week in August?
First week in August, yeah.
So
I'll be going. Can we make it the next week?
The 15th, the 8th or the 15th?
8th is, when does August start? I'm
Must be
blanking.
the first.
Starts on Monday.
On the
Monday
first,
the
yeah, I'm
1st.
sorry.
August starts on the 1st.
Yeah, the 8th is fine.
Okay, so we'll do the 8th in August, and then we'll go to a two a month
Cool.
in September. That work for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like wishing the summer away.
Oh my God, yes.
So,
Goes quick.
Too
the
fast.
only other thing is, would you all like me to reach out to the town administrator about posting for finding a finance committee secretary?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, please.
We
Yeah.
really have to.
I'll get your other meetings posted for you, and then, I'm presuming you want it just posted for the 2 weeks, and see, hopefully you'll get some candidates, you'll be able to
Yeah.
review them or whatever.
Yeah,
So if you get stuck in between, I can certainly fill in and, help you out during those
Okay,
meetings, and
thank
then
you.
we'll get them on.
does that need to be a town employee?
No,
Like, that can be anyone?
That can be
Recording
anyone.
secretary for,
Yep.
okay. And is
it
it,
usually isn't an already town employee.
oh, okay.
It's not.
I've only
I mean,
ever
it's
had,
actually, I
I've
shouldn't
only
say-
No,
ever
that's
had
right,
Lynn.
yeah.
Actually, the last couple have been, but
Have
it
been.
doesn't have.
Doesn't have to be.
Okay.
It can be
Okay.
anyone who's
And
interested.
it's a paid position?
yes.
Okay.
Got a lot of money, but yeah.
No, I get it, and it's just for the meeting time and
Anything
And
that's
then,
necessary for
and then
you.
minutes and preps and
Yeah,
all that
when
stuff.
we budget 5 hours a week,
Oh, okay,
which usually is plenty.
yeah,
Because, you have your meetings and then they have to do the minutes.
yeah,
So usually that's enough.
okay. Okay,
Yeah, especially when, if
Alright,
like
great.
you're only meeting once in July and once in August,
yeah, we can bank a
You
little
shouldn't be
bit.
hitting anywhere
Yeah,
near
we can
5
bank
hours a
little
week.
bit. Right, for sure.
Okay, so I'll reach out to him
Okay.
and talk to him about that, we'll get a posting up for that.
Okay, and then we have an extension on remote meeting through July 15th, right?
Correct,
But
right now
that,
they're
but that
going
might,
through
that
July
might
15th.
change, but we may be forced back to meeting this way, for the August meeting.
Just fine.
Okay, yeah, I think we just may have to do it a little later for the folks that have to commute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
Right.
assume when we meet with the Board of Selectmen in July, they do it upstairs. This isn't big enough.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
table's not big enough for all
Oh,
of
right,
us
yeah,
to
I'm
be
sure they
here.
would do it in the Great
we'll do
Hall.
it upstairs, yeah.
Yep. You
Okay.
did not have anything, you didn't have any other correspondence, and the only other thing on your agenda was the meeting with the Board of Selectmen, who,
Okay.
this is, they couldn't be here, so.
Right, so we'll do that one next.
that's
I know they are beating the bushes. I got 4 calls this week for talent forms that I put in 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So they are trying, the new board is trying to staff up
Get
everything that
people
we've
up,
got,
yeah.
which is good. So if we know people who just don't know how to volunteer, what might want to, let's, see what we can do to help people get connected, because the more the merrier. I think
Yeah, I was
we
supposed to
can
meet
just-
with the selectmen Thursday night, but I couldn't be there. For
For-
the IT and com committee.
Oh, are you not on it?
I am,
Both of
Okay.
you,
Appoint.
Tom and Mike,
Yeah.
are both on it.
Yeah,
it's one
And
year
they're just
reappointment.
looking to see if you want to
Okay.
be in. if
yeah,
you're
so she
interested
called
in
me,
being
she
in.
called me and I was hiding out, and that's what she said yes. And I also called the Conservation Commission and something else that so they're really
Your
trying to get
original
these, all of these
town
empties.
form was
Yeah.
saved. I would have thought that, because you were put on a committee.
Oh,
they never-
Jonathan was
they
very
never
happy to
threw it
put us
away,
on 3 or
so-
4 or 5, so he was,
I thought,
Maybe
we
we
could
should
get-
tell them the finance
I
committee
thought-
can't be on anything
Yeah,
else.
finance committee, you couldn't be on any
oh,
other
yeah, I don't think we
committee.
can.
No, you
Yeah.
can't, he just probably is not aware of that. We
Oh,
can
okay. So,
run through that.
All right, yeah, we should just let John know that.
Yeah.
All right.
Anybody else, they can pile them on.
Right, can we be on IT?
Well, that's like a subcommittee, right?
Yeah.
That's different,
Just,
yeah.
yeah, okay. Motion to adjourn?
Oh, wait, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine, I'm sorry, go
Okay,
ahead.
'cause we can do
Jared, I
that
just need you to
post-adjournment.
sign afterwards.
Before you return.
Yeah, chief.
Just one quick question, as far as back wage and personnel. Now, last year, department heads were asked to supply a bunch of information. Does the board still have that, the
We
committee still
do.
have information? All right, so we're not gonna be asked to.
No,
No.
no, we have all of that. I do think that stuff ages fast. And with so we do want to use, we've got some other data sources that we're going to use, try
Yeah.
and triangulate
Right,
around
right.
that, because so that you don't have to do it again.
Yeah.
But I want to test those numbers, because I think they're gonna be off by 5-6%, the competitive numbers. I mean, that's my
add a
guess,
factor
you
to
know?
them or something.
Yeah, so we'll just age them.
And I noticed that Flower and Soul is opening.
They're
It's
open.
open, it's been open for a
Will we
week.
see any kind of from that next year?
Well, the one thing we saw was they paid for fireworks.
Fireworks.
Right?
Yeah.
That was
That's
a
good.
donation,
Yeah.
and also the one that's opening up there also donated.
Okay.
What, I don't
On
remember.
the bank, couple of banks.
But,
Elevator routes.
that's it, elevated routes. They also donated, so a lot of people
Where are they?
donated. They're gonna be in the.
The old
bank.
Santander Bank.
The old Santander.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
the one, oh.
Oh, no kidding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we will see money because we have a tax, like a local options
Right.
tax.
Mm.
So we will see that. There's also a host agreement. I don't know when we get money from
Okay.
that host agreement.
Is
Okay.
that every year, the host agreement?
The host agreement is something that will, but it's for 3 years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then after the 3 years, we may not get anything from that. It's not guaranteed.
Yeah, there's also a case right now being heard at the SJC in regards to the host community agreements. One of the establishments in Averill that got their home, the host agreement and opened up and did business for a couple of years. And the owner was like, well, Averill, show me how my shop has impacted your community negatively. And Averill couldn't come up with data to show that. So it's been back and forth, so it's not, I believe it's either the appellate court or the SJC. So a lot of the communities now, like I know, because the only reason why, because the place down here is trying to get a place in Lakeville. And Lakeville told them to hold off because they're gonna wait until the case is heard. So he was pretty, he was willing to, even if after the 3%, to sign something like a developmental grant, or so that type of thing, to
Yeah.
continue that 3%. So he's been good about that. I mean, we don't know what's gonna happen in a few years,
Sure.
but right now, he's willing to do that. But we have that 3% with him for 3 years, I believe.
So under the statute, after 3 years, the town has to show evidence of harm?
No, they don't. And
Okay.
so what happened was, there must have been some other underlying stuff going on
Yeah.
with that establishment and the town,
In that case?
in that case.
Okay, okay,
And so there was some friction.
yeah,
So the owners said, listen, you should, I have no problem, helping out the community and paying my dues, but show me how I negatively impacted the community and that, that liquor shop or liquor store hasn't.
doesn't, right,
So, let's be equal about
sure.
the 3%.
So the host agreement is supposed to be based on the impact to the town.
Yeah.
So, because we
So if it
have
shows
this,
no
we have
impact.
to have more police officers, or because we have this,
Yeah,
we have to fix these roads, or something like that. It's supposed to be related to the impact of that establishment.
okay.
But, I mean, according to the state law. So even though they were willing to give you hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's not really,
It's
it's
not
not
forever. It's not an
impacting the
annuity.
town
Right.
that
Right.
much. So it had to be
That's their
more.
argument,
Okay.
yeah.
Good.
So, yeah, I
Why
mean,
shouldn't
we'll
we
see what happens with, with that case, and that's
Good.
gonna probably be, case
Chief,
law.
if you have excess resource obligations, like, when they first opened in Cambridge and they had,
Sorry.
traffic issues and all of that stuff, does that have to come out of the 3%, or can you bill back for anything extra you might have to do,
Bill back
the merchant?
the merchant?
Yeah,
No, I mean, I don't,
You couldn't.
there's nothing, yeah, I mean, it's just, because even that funding, that 3%, it goes to general fund, doesn't go
Okay.
to.
Right.
so if you have an excess resource obligation because traffic problems or something like that,
It would just, I'd have to
it would have to
incorporate
come
that
out
in my
of,
budget.
it'd come out of the budget.
Right. And then that's when we'd go to the ham and say, listen, this is causing a burden on the department, you
Yeah.
gotta step up. And like I said, when he opened up, he hired the detail, like he said he was going to. He had a soft opening a couple days, the week before. Then he had the opening on last week, I believe, Monday, and he's having the grand opening the weekend of July. And, so he's gotta go in front of the board to ask for permission, because he wants to have like some, informational booths outside, no
Outside.
product,
Free
but,
samples.
yeah. No samples.
No
So
free
it's only like a
samples?
4-hour walk, so I'm gonna wait till see what the board decides about hiring detail, because, that 10-hour, whoever had that detail for 10 hours, that was easy money.
Oh, for sure, yeah,
It wasn't much.
right.
Yeah, the detail is paid for by.
By him.
the
By the
establishment.
vendor, yeah,
So it's
okay.
not,
Okay,
Yeah.
that was helpful. Anything else? Any other business? Folks? Gene? No?
No, just with the wage and personnel, like that meeting on the 11th, you're just kind of gonna go over the data? with
Here's the
them
thing,
and-
we have never actually had a substantive meeting during my tenure here, right? So the first thing I'd like to get done in the 11th meeting is what's the mandate? Where's the box? Where can we make decisions? Where can we not make decisions? I never got clear on that, and we tried a couple of times to get clear on what is the mandate of the committee. So I think on the 11th, we really want to focus on that. The data are actually well organized. Linda worked really hard on
Yeah.
pulling everything together from the departments. We got some supplemental data from a commercial vendor that I have access to. But with that, we know where we're at, and objectively, we know too, because we're just losing people over pay differentials.
And Linda, I'm probably up to date with all my library, the amount of monies and things like that, right? I'll go over
Yeah,
it
they
again
gave
before that
them,
meeting.
yeah, and whatever I gave them would be current with everybody else that I gave them for that period.
Right, okay.
All right, motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And roll call vote, Michael?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Cheryl?
Yes.
And myself is a yes at 6:35 on June 27th.